What will happen if the Democrats do win control of the House only? Will anything change? I mean, I realize you're going to have an investigation coming your way every 2 weeks, but we haven't had a lot of legislation pushed through the first year, just given the 60 vote threshold in the Senate. So realistically, what do you think would change?
Well, I think a couple things. One, Democrats will try to spend more money, particularly on their targeted populations. You'd see a lot of legislation saying we're going to shut down the government unless we give more health care benefits to illegal aliens, more federal-backed loans to illegal aliens. So that would definitely be a fight that we would have. And I think we would win some of those fights. But if the Democrats control the House, we probably wouldn't win all of them. The bigger thing that would happen is just impeachment. Like if you go back to 95. Okay, so Republicans win. Bill Clinton does what's called the triangulation, and you have this great bipartisan compromise on welfare reform and on tax policy and on regulatory policy. Anybody hoping that Democrats win and you see a lot of bipartisan legislation, you need to stop taking the drugs, because that's not going to happen. Democrats are not interested. They have said they're not interested in doing any big bipartisan legislation for the American people. What are they interested in? Impeachment. They are interested in getting Trump and getting the people in his administration, and that's what we would have. For 2 years, we would have a government, we would have a Department of Justice, we would have a White House, where we'd still be able to get a lot done, but fundamentally, there's a lot that wouldn't happen because we'd be so focused on sham impeachment trials, where the Democrats, by the way, would know they weren't going anywhere, but that's all they have. Like actually ask yourself, what is it that unifies the Democratic Party in 2026 America? You know, you might say it's men and women's sports, and okay, nobody really cares about that, or if they do care about it, they hate it like we do. Okay, you can't run a national party on men and women's sports. Raising taxes on hardworking Americans. A lot of Democrats believe that. You can't run a campaign on that. The only thing that they have is they hate Donald Trump. That's what unifies their party. They hate the Trump administration. That's what unifies their party, and that's what their legislative agenda would look like if we gave them power.
Also hating Trump and hating abortion. I mean, loving abortion. Those two things.
Yeah, I mean, they're
really solid on that.
They again, I don't think this is true of most Democrats in our country, but most elected Democrats, it is a weird obsession with a culture of death, gender ideology, affirmative action, diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's like all of the things that divide Americans against each other, that make Americans hate one another, and that make Americans poor and less safe. That is the operating focus of elected Democrats, but they're smart enough to recognize they can't run on that. They can't run on any of their actual policies, so they're not going to try to enact this stuff. They're just going to try to attack the president.
We mentioned the press a minute ago. Someone who claims to be a member of it is Don Lemon, who's been arrested now.
The dumbest man in television.
Yeah, I mean, that's formally saying something. He's under arrest because he stormed a church in the middle of a Sunday service, along with a lot of other rioters, and disrupted people trying to worship. He's trying to cloak himself in the First Amendment, saying this is an attack on freedom of the press. And you say what?
Well, I say first, Don, no one's objecting to you standing outside of a church and protesting. No one's objecting to you no one's saying you can't protest the Trump administration's immigration policies, or frankly, our policies on anything else. What you cannot do is go into somebody's house of worship and prevent them from exercising their First Amendment right to the free exercise of religion. That's what happened. By the way, there's a federal law on the books that says you're not allowed to interrupt churches. You're not allowed to prevent people from entering or leaving a church. And the Biden administration aggressively prosecuted people. Where was Don Lemon when people were getting aggressively prosecuted for sham violations of the FACE Act? We have a rock solid violation of the FACE Act, which is you were sticking a microphone in the face of a minister during the church service while the people you were with were preventing people from leaving. That's a violation of the law. That's not about the First Amendment. You care about criticizing our immigration policies, then stand outside the church and protest. You don't get to violate other people's rights. And if you do, the Trump administration, we're going to try to do everything that we can to make sure you suffer legal consequences.
International disputes, inflation, rising national debt, digital currency. There is a never-ending list of reasons that gold has risen over 700% in the last 20 years. And a never-ending list of reasons smart Americans diversify a portion of their savings into precious metals with Birch Gold Group. Gold can thrive during uncertainty, which is why it's a crucial part of a balanced strategy. It gives you peace of mind, given all the events that could impact the U.S. economy. See if holding gold in a tax-sheltered retirement account is right for you. Birch Gold can help you convert an existing IRA or 401k into an IRA in gold. Just text MK to the number 989898 to receive your free info kit on gold. There's no obligation, just useful information. With an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau and tens of thousands of happy customers, consider letting Birch Gold help you diversify with gold, so you too can have peace of mind regardless of the uncertainty. Text MK to the number 989898. Thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.